From Illinois being a welcoming state to the states, passing legislation that bans the sale of firearms, to curriculum in public schools, and so on, there's a lot of concern from some across the state outside of major urban areas that are trying to raise issues, and they can't really seem to get any traction at the State House. Now, if you want to get real down and simple to it, it's political, of course. You've got Republicans who think a certain way. They're in the super minority in both chambers of the Illinois legislature, while Democrats, coming from mainly major urban areas like Chicago and Cook County and elsewhere, they have the super majority and are able to pass unilaterally a whole bunch of legislation that Republicans elsewhere throughout the state find abhorrent. Well, the idea of splitting the state in two has been brought up before in the past, and there's a conference going on this weekend to, I guess, delve more into that. But to get details on what's going on, we are joined now by G.H. Merritt. She is with the New Illinois group, and she joins us here on WMAY. G.H., thanks for taking time with us this morning. Hopefully that's you on your way to this conference. Good morning.
Good morning. Thanks for having me on.
No, absolutely. So let's get right down into it. What's going on and where's it happening?
It's happening in Quincy. We're having our third constitutional convention for a new state. And every time we have one of these, it's really a blast, but we are making progress because what we want to do, regardless of divisions on issues that Republicans and Democrats have, what we're addressing is the fact that if you live outside of Chicago, urban Cook County, you really don't have representative government. And that dates back to Reynolds v. Sims that took away any geographic basis for a state legislature and led to a lot of the crazy gerrymandering we have. But this is a process we've been involved in for 5 years, both us and another group called Illinois Separation. They're the ones that put the advisory referendum on the county ballots. And so what we're doing is writing a constitution. So far, we're using the previous Illinois constitutions as a template, particularly the ones from 1870. And we're also putting new things into it. I don't know if you recall, in 2005, there was a Supreme Court ruling, Kelo versus the City of New London, where some lady had her beach house in New London, Connecticut, and the city decided it'd be great if they took her property so somebody could come in and put some professional office space or a strip mall in there. They could get more tax revenue. Went all the way to the Supreme Court, and they said, yeah, there's nothing in the Constitution that's protecting you from this. And so in the wake of that, many states either amended their Constitution or adopted legislation that wouldn't allow this to happen to their people. And so even though Illinois did something that was kind of window dressing, they're one of the most abusive states when it comes to eminent domain. And right now, in fact, there's two different cases where there's pipelines coming through, and the state of Illinois has given corporations from outside of the state eminent domain power to run their pipelines. And in one case, to bury another state's carbon dioxide, and another it's a transmission line that isn't going to benefit the state of Illinois at all. It's power that go out east. And so what we've done is we've looked at other state constitutions and other state law, and we took what South Dakota had, the strongest eminent domain protection in the country, and that's what we have put in our constitution for a new state.
So again, in Quincy this weekend, you've got a convention with members of New Illinois and elsewhere that want to try to bring about, in a way, more independence for those in rural areas. G.H. Merritt's with us. She's the chairman of New Illinois. And we don't have a resolution that we had in the past from State Representative Brad Halbrook, for instance. who proposed having a resolution to essentially split the state in two. So what are the next paths here? You got a constitutional convention that you're looking to craft something. It's kind of convoluted, but can you make it simple as to how exactly this could advance?
Well, interestingly, let me back up here. Yeah, Brad has prepared the resolution for this time around, but the problem is, if you recall, when Speaker Madigan was in power, the House rules in Illinois made him the most powerful speaker of any state in the country. And in the wake of his demise, the House changed the rules so that when a bill or a resolution was filed, it wouldn't just go die in the Rules Committee, but it had to have a hearing and be passed on to a substantive committee. Well, this January, they went back to the old rules. And so Brad could file it, but it's not going to get a hearing at this point. And so we'll just post it on our website so everybody knows exactly what's in it. It's what we're going to do. We now have 32 or 33 counties that have New Illinois County Committees. We are going to proceed down that path. I know Illinois Separation is going to continue to put their referendum on county ballots and just take our message all over the state. We also know that we need to reach out to the Chicago legislators in that side of the aisle and really sell this as a win-win proposition. And so one of our people did have a conversation with LaShawn Ford, who in the past has said he would be willing to have a conversation. And so he suggested that we have a forum on this, and we are looking forward to doing exactly that. So,
well, and something else too, and we've just got a few moments here. Of course, we're talking with G.H. Merritt, chairman of New Illinois. There's a conference to focus on this idea in Quincy this weekend. Representative Halbrook recently had said that one fix that he feels could bring about better representation and make Illinois more of a constitutional republic rather than a democracy ruled by the majority and a uniparty of sorts. He suggested going back to having senators cover counties rather than just being equal representation of sorts. Your thoughts on that, real quick? We got just a few moments.
Oh, yeah, I heard that interview and I talked to him about it later. I think that that has to be listened to in context. Reynolds v. Sims, the Supreme Court ruling in 1964, made that impossible, and so that's what we had before. And before, you had more of a balance of power between downstate and Chicago. And so if Reynolds v. Sims were to be overturned, which is unlikely because it's one of the landmark cases of the 20th century, there would be no need for New Illinois because we would have representative government throughout the state.
Yeah, and Halbrook saying it would really resemble the likes of, Hawaii has the same number of senators as New York has the same number of U.S. senators. So you could see how that would bring about some balance when it comes to having representation and not having the minority party be overrun by a majority party in this constitutional republic. But this is all a conversation for another day. G.H. Merritt, chairman of New Illinois. Again, give us the details of when and where in Quincy the conference is happening this weekend.
It's going to be at the Holiday Inn Quincy East, and it's going to start tonight. It's the tickets that include dinner are sold out, but if somebody wants to come and hear the speakers, that'll start about 7:30 tonight, and so you can buy tickets at the door. And then tomorrow, you can also buy tickets at the door, but again, not with lunch. And we'll have a forum on New Illinois, and it'll be awesome.
Appreciate it. We'll definitely talk again in the near future. Be safe out there, all right?
Thank you.
It is Springfield's Morning News on 92.7 WMAY, Springfield's News and Talk.
It's time to apply at Culver's West on Wabash. We're hiring all positions, and did we mention free food? Only at